Hello, lovelies. So our last reading for October, and really also August, was more reflecting on behaviors that we could really address, things that we could tie up, loose ends to tie up, things we can address and get rid of, as well as really holding on to some patience through some challenging situations. And I really want to see for November kind of what that's going to bring about, but really more or less just to see what transformations are getting ready to take place. Any last little things that are kind of stinging that you can address and get rid of, behaviors that you can recognize and change, or self-destructive thought processes or patterns or people, as well as looking at what is coming your way as far as potential and potent transformations between now and the end of the year. Next month, for December, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do 2 readings for December. One is going to do more of a reflection type of reading, looking at the energies for 2020 and really just reflect on that, what happened. How can we take that energy and use that into 2020, and that's going to lead into the second half of, or the second reading, which is going to be it's going to be focusing on the resolution based on that reflection. How can you use that for what to look forward to in 2021? How can you, if you're able to follow through with all of these types of transformations and these challenges and this patience, what is that paying off for? What can you look forward to in 2021 in general, or even at least just as you kind of flow into the first portion of 2021? So that's the plan. We're going to take a look at that transformational aspect, more of a kind of a preliminary transformational point. What can you start looking at now as we approach the end of the year that you can start reflecting on, tying up, finishing up, and getting ready to just kind of prep and motivate for 2021. Okay, so let's get started. All right, Gemini, let's take a look at what we can focus on as far as what you can release to, step up to the next transformational point in your life here. We're in Scorpio season, so it's definitely about addressing or, acknowledging even some of those painful things that we can get rid of and help kind of birth more of what we desire. All right, so let's take a look at what that could look like as far as some of those things that can be producing a sting, or things that we can maybe address or get rid of here. And it looks like we've got the 6 of Cups in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the 6 of Swords. So it looks as though there is a little bit of regret over something that happened in the past, maybe a decision that took place, a scenario, there's an experience, a connection, and it could have just had a very bad result where it's not what you expected. You may have given just a little bit more of yourself than you wanted to, and realized that the other end of it wasn't on the same level with you or on the same page. But it puts you in a little bit of a sense of isolation, or maybe not even isolation, but more on like this seeking, self kind of journey, asking yourself a lot of questions, I feel like, and wanting to just find a different path from that experience and go down a different path. So that's what's been driving you, and I feel like that's what's helping kind of motivate things, but it's also something that needs to be released at this point, okay, because you don't want to take that into the new year. What self-destructive behaviors, if anything, do you need to recognize? Feeling like this is like the end or something like that. This is the part where you set your milestones for the long journey and you start just taking those first steps towards what it is you do want. Keeping those expectations for yourself. I'm going to say expectations. The satisfaction level for yourself. Don't settle for less than what you desire and what you deserve. That's for sure. Just keep that in mind. All right, Queen of Cups here. And I want to see kind of, if you're feeling down about yourself, or if you're trying to put yourself in, or if you tend to put yourself in a position where you're just kind of downing yourself and you're, depressed, or you're just questioning, what is it about me that's making this not work? It's possible that you've just seen kind of maybe you had an idea of what you wanted and it didn't happen, and that's what's kind of making you feel like this depression of like, well, maybe this is how it's always going to be, but that's not it. This is where you can let go of that, and where you need to, stop that type of destructive behavior and start seeing things from a perspective of, okay, what can we learn from this, and what can, take that information, put it in your toolbox, and keep moving forward. Okay, it's not the time to let that bring you down by any means. All right, so what aspect of your life is undergoing a pretty important transformation? Well, no shit. So this connection, right? This understanding of what the connection's about. I really, you have this desire, you have a perfect understanding of what you want, and you're like, why is it keep kind of cycling through what I think is right, or what I think is what I want, but it ends up not being so? Well, it's because you're picking up pieces that you need to put into your toolbox, so where you can get to the ultimate, the ultimate delivery of what you desire, which is this person who's got everything that you would expect or would hope to be encompassed in this individual, or in this connection with the situation or person or opportunity or whatever it is. Okay, for a lot of you, I feel like this is a love connection. So you're getting ready, I feel like, to transform. This relationship is getting ready to transform into something that just has all those pieces of what you're looking for. Okay, so try not to be too down and out about the situation, and the more optimism you have, the more you're going to bring about more optimistic rewards and results. So I was looking for results. What will help you to explore, and tap into that heart space to give you more of what you need and want. Okay, and that's being able to balance things, balance those emotions, compromise with some things, come to terms and some clarity with certain scenarios, so that you can just have faith and let things just kind of develop, okay, without being too hard on yourself. What you don't need in your life right now is making up some bullshit that's not real. Like trying to put yourself as the reason why, things aren't working, or just putting all this heavy emotion on yourself. That's not, has nothing to do with you. It has to do with other, one, other people and what they're dealing with, and two, it's meant for you to take an understanding from these lessons so that you can keep moving forward here. All right. Finding balance, finding an understanding, finding that higher spiritual understanding of what's going on in your life, and not adding, this emotional nonsense that just makes you feel like shit, okay? I mean, it makes it worse. That's not where you want to go with things. If you're waking up just extra pissed about certain situations, figure out what's the deal. I mean, are you holding on to anger because of something somebody did, of something going on in your life, of a feeling that you have about yourself, of something you're trying to stop, something you want to add? I mean, what is the root reason for this feeling or these emotions that you've got going on? Maybe there's something buried that you need to deal with, okay? That's definitely something that's possible as well, or something that's not being seen, okay? If there's something that's not being seen, then Ten of Swords in reverse. This is maybe procrastination of dealing with something or letting something go, okay? Maybe this is just knowing something is just right in front of you, but being unwilling to identify it because it's hard, and that's going to just create more of the same thing, and you definitely don't want that. So what can you do, or what can you bring in to bring more of what you desire into your life? Okay, honest intention, wisdom, speaking truth, speaking from that honesty, speaking from that place of knowing and of wisdom, and then also of that spiritual higher self as well. Okay, you can use that method of communication, back to yourself, to keep the information that's flowing into your mind, and that your thoughts and your actions and your words are all flowing in that same type of strong energy, okay, as opposed to from this, kind of more down and blue, and negative type of perspective. So if you guys want to look into your situation a little bit more closely, let me know. My rates are down below. They're still 50% off. I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity. Let me know, and I hope you guys have a great month. Much love.